Herth+Buss, 100 years of history, 100 years of tradition and innovation with a strong team of employees and many loyal customers. Yes, innovation is a crucial factor for us. However, innovation means collaboration, that is working together across the value chain, which also means trust in the value chain. And of course, the courage to initiate changes together.
I mean, as a medium-sized company, we naturally have to constantly reinvent ourselves and remain innovative to be able to compete in the market, because that is the great advantage we can leverage, that we have short decision-making paths, that we are agile, that we can simply try things out. But of course, we have to be careful with our resources. That is, of course, the challenge at this point. But the good thing is that we can make decisions quickly and implement them, which is extremely important for surviving in day-to-day business. And that's exactly how innovation and partnership play an important role, which we have successfully brought together with various partners in recent years. And because, as my uncle already mentioned, we simply tried to seize our opportunities. Not everything worked out, of course, but that's quite clear. However, over the years, we've not only taken the bold step to shift away from traditional business practices, but also expanded from merely dealing with spare parts to venturing into the realm of diagnostics, be it online or offline. One decision naturally led to the next. This is the path we must continue to follow in the future, to stay current, to reinvent ourselves, and to stand out and simply to be innovative, to make our partners more successful.
Yes, for us, I believe it is really important to find a common value base. And we have essentially achieved that with the entire TQM, that is the total quality management approach, where the focus is on customers and employees. We then gave ourselves a guiding thread. In this guiding thread, we precisely define our values and our leadership principles again, and we incorporate them into our daily work.
Yes, it is extremely important that we have the guiding thread, that we have predefined such values that simply permeate everything here, that in everything we do, we keep in mind what we want to stand for here, and partnership is, of course, that's absolutely essential.
Herth+Buss was founded in 1925 in the Offenbach district, more precisely in Langen. We manufactured auto-electrical materials, and my maternal grandfather then joined the company in 1928. And due to the early death of Mr. Herth, he took over the initial shares. And in a second step, in 1932, also bought the remaining shares from Herth+Buss. During this time, however, the strategy was changed due to technical developments, and my grandfather practically entered the aftermarket by selling electrical wear parts and electrical materials. At that time, these parts were sold directly to workshops, and we had a complementary program to all the major manufacturers that already existed back then, such as Bosch and WF and many others. My grandfather passed away relatively early, that was in 1961, and his son-in-law, who had already started his own business in a company after the war and during his studies, then joined the management and led the company until 1991. During this time, additional suppliers were developed, a very strong French program was established, and then through the company's expansion in the 1960s, the significant growth, the company's headquarters were relocated to Heusenstamm. We have been active at this location since 1967, and of course, during this time, we have made many innovations and have always invested in our logistics. My brother had already joined the company in the mid-1980s after his studies. I had previously spent 5 years worked in Munich, in Ottobrunn near Munich, and joined Herth+Buss in the early 90s. Our father passed away in the early 90s, And thus, in our early 30s, we practically entered the management of the company. Together with our sales manager Hans Mulhaus and our commercial manager Oliver Leverens, we then took over the business. During this time, we started with a Japan program. As a result, we came into strong contact with the Far Eastern systems of total quality management, which fascinated us greatly. And back then, we were one of the first companies to undertake a project with the Association of Automotive Parts Trade for ISO certification, according to ISO 9002. And we successfully achieved this in 1996. Conclude with TÜV Nord.
In the course of a certification according to ISO 9002, we also had our risk management system certified. Once our processes were then essentially structured, we were ready to introduce SAP at Herth+Buss. This then led to our processes being implemented on an IT level as well, and we were able to achieve further process optimization. Honestly, it must be said that an SAP implementation at Herth+Buss would not have been possible if we hadn't structured our processes beforehand. At the end of the 90s, we were able to establish further important partnerships for Herth+Buss. With the introduction of SAP, we then received an interface from SAP to the TechCom ordering system. Herth+Buss then became a partner at TechCom, which is now known as the Tech Alliance. A second important partnership was our collaboration with the company Coastal Contact Systems. Herth+Buss then supplied the cable assemblers with Coastal components and thus became a partner in the automotive industry's value chain.